Welcome to FOH. This week, Kenny, we're doing the La Gloria Cubana Turquinos. Turquinos being the highest peak in Cuba, the name of the highest peak in Cuba, which puts a lot of pressure on this cigar. As
It's not really the Andes, is it?
God, how glass half full are you? I mean,
It's
glass
been
half
a
empty.
long day. But I tell you what, the last hour has turned today around. Oh,
What
it's
happened?
all that. It's going to church. How good's that?
You went to church. Excellent. Happy Easter,
Oh,
everyone. It's Good Friday here
happy
today.
Easter.
Happy Easter.
No, I don't buy much wine from direct from mailing orders, but I do get one particular one from New Zealand, which I won't mention for reasons. But and the email came through first thing this morning saying, sorry, there's absolutely no wine available for anyone overseas. It's just too limited. And by chance, I was halfway through an article on that very winery. So I said, look, I understand, no problems, but can I get some photos? And they came back, oh, we have wine for you. So I'm feeling very excited.
Mate, if you missed out on your New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, I'd be so disappointed for you. I mean, I hope you get.
Don't you dare.
Honestly, Kenny loves his
Sauvignon Blanc and Retsina. Honestly, try drinking wine for a change. And then the second thing was, I mean, when I did the Italian trip last year, I bought some Italians and they were being delivered. And they said, "Oh, we'll deliver them over Easter." I'm thinking, over Easter, really?
Anyway, it was wine. This is wine, not people. Yeah, this wine. Excellent.
Yeah. And there's a knock on the door about half an hour ago. It's a lovely young bloke who's got my boxes of wine, and I said, "You're delivering on Good Friday?" He said, "Well, I actually work there, and I saw the address on the box, and I'm staying with my grandparents over Easter. They live 3 houses down." So,
you get a lotto. Unfortunately, you can't get a lotto ticket because the shops are closed. But this is your lucky day.
Well, I was grumpy this morning, I can tell you. No favourite Pinot and nothing else, and suddenly, woo!
Well, let's hope this cigar just makes it a trifecta.
And I should really take notice when we're recording and when we're not, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should, but you had never had before, so really, I don't think you need to concern yourself now. You got the cigar. Show him your traveller humidor. This is Ken's traveller humidor. No, the plastic bag.
You delivered it 24 hours ago. Seriously? What was it supposed to go into?
Did he rest it in his humidor? Did he put it? No. In the plastic bag it goes, stays.
You gave it to me less than 24 hours ago.
Actually, just over 24 hours ago. He's had his hot little hands 26 hours.
Daylight saving time.
There is high chance that it's not damaged through ineffective and inappropriate storage conditions. Looks good, Ken, doesn't it?
Well, what's the aroma and colour? It's supposed to have this white crap.
White what?
I don't know. Something there. God. Put it this way.
White what?
If I had it on my plants, I'd be fumigating. It does feel good in there.
I've seen your plants. You don't do a freaking thing to your plants, right?
I water them regularly.
You water them occasionally.
I water them regularly.
He uses the wilting rule if they're wilting water.
I do actually water regularly, but that's it, pretty much. Why? Is there something else you can do?
You can fertilise. You can rotate, put a little bit closer to the window, move them around a little bit.
They're outside.
What about your? I think about your indoor plants, the ones that are like.
Oh, yeah, I water those.
God waters the outside ones. He's doing a good job. He's doing a very good job at the moment because it hasn't stopped raining for the last 10 days. Well, actually, today's not a bad day. Tell us, tightish straw, yeah? Just not tight,
firm, but not too bad.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that draw.
No. And it's sort of very short biscuit. I mean, cold and short. That's sort of shortbread, biscuity characters.
Shortbread biscuity characters. Good.
Indeed.
You get paid for this shit, do you? The
Not by you.
Writing for wine, not by me. You get paid. That's my lighter. That's my lighter. You thief. You thief in the night.
I am babysitting it. You don't look after your things. You don't look after your things. You're not having nice things.
Off the deck.
I accidentally relocated it, but it needs refilling.
So this
could you drop by?
Can I drop by? Refill your lighter. Refill my lighter. Yeah. The La Gloria Cubana Turquinos, if I remember correctly, it's a gordito, which is 50 ring gauge and 140 millimeters, 141. Could be out by a millimeter there. It's obviously a little bit longer than a normal Robusto. I think it's a great size. I think it's a great size cigar. It's not too big. It's just perfect when you don't want a Churchill often. This is a bit longer than normal Robusto. I think if you've got an hour and a half, this should last you an hour and a half.
I've got to talk to you for an hour and a half.
Not really. I'll we got the football starting at 3. Who puts a football game on at 3 o'clock on Good Friday? I mean,
well, the NRL do it every year.
I know. I just trying to explain to Dee that okay, a very important thing happened at 3 o'clock on Good Friday, and it wasn't kickoff of the rugby league. Anyway, we'll be back with you at the end of the first.
What else? What else?
Kenny, first third comment on the LGC, La Gloria Cubana Turquinos.
I love it. It's just right from that first puff. I said to you, it's got that gingerbread, short biscuit, or shortbread character, biscuity, bit of cinnamon that's coming through. I think it's still fairly young, but it's really got flavour. Absolutely, it's rain. God help me. A minute ago it was bright sun. Anyway, I'm now getting rain. Sorry. Yeah, full of flavour.
Full of flavour.
Delicious.
I can see all those characteristics, that gingerbread, that biscuit, the cinnamon. I still find it, and I think it's great because from this box I've had a few, and they're a little bit closed. And this is what I'm seeing here. It's still a little bit closed in terms of it's not a full expression of what it has. I don't think, not yet.
I'll tell you what, still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, when you say put cigars away for a period of time, then this is something I'd love to see in 6 months or a year. It just needs a bit of time down for me. But I'm loving that. Like the fact that what's the box code on this? I better find the box code. I'll give you the box code at the end of the second third. But it's only a 23 cigar, 2023 cigar. They're released in 2023. I think it's November 23. This one here. I'll tell you shortly. But it still needs a bit of time down.
I think you mean 23rd of March.
What?
Nothing. 23rd of March.
Just stop. I'll find out what the box code is. Can you keep talking to the audience? There's millions of people out there wanting to hear from you.
Chat amongst yourselves, fellas. Just chat amongst yourselves. Our professional expert here, he's off to find the box in the bin.
BRM March 23. Just shut up, honestly. So
I told you, yeah, March 23rd. Did I not say March 23rd?
Yeah.
Some days you're on fire. Hey, it's Good Friday. Divine intervention.
You've always been a favourite of his, Ken. We all know that. We'll be back with you at the
Sorry.
At the end of the second third. No life of Brian jokes on Good Friday, you goose. Second third, Kenny.
More of the same, pretty much. I don't really. There's still that underlying little bit of heat, etc., from being so young, but otherwise, as the same flavours.
I'm getting a little bit of brioche in there, a little bit of bakery in that. I'm getting a little bit of greenness is coming through in this second third. A little bit of greenness.
I'm not
Purple.
seeing green, but I am. I mean, sure. I mean, we've thrown around brioche, shortbread, biscuity, all of these sort of terms, and they're all sort of very similar, and they may be moving between the two of them, but
Yeah,
and that's fair enough. But it's not going too far from that. But I mean, I'm
that's a great
thoroughly
cigar.
enjoying it.
It's a really good cigar, and I think the tightness of the draw is really not tight. It's not it's a tighter draw.
It's a well-made, it's a
Cigar.
well-constructed cigar.
But I think
I
it's
would say,
helping it. It's slowing
yeah,
the
I wouldn't
burn.
talk
It's
about
slowing the
tightness.
burn. Yeah,
I would say this is a very well-made cigar.
it's a proper Cuban draw. You got to pull on the cigar. You got to pull on it. It's not gonna smoke itself.
Well, look, I use wherever the freaking thing. There it is. I use my little Swiss Army knife punch. It's the greatest
Yeah,
invention in the history of mankind since the wheel. Um, and that doesn't really take much out. So, I mean, if I used a clipper, I'd get a much easier draw. But I never do. I use this thing because it does concentrate the draw, and I like that. And on this one, it's working well.
I'm okay with that, but I always have a guillotine close to hand, just in case I want to open it, or if it gets a little bit bitter, and I want to cut stuff away.
No argument,
You
no
know,
argument at all.
yeah. So I'm happy to use a punch. I'm happy to use. I'm not a big V cut fan. I know other guys are. I'm not a big V cut fan. I love a guillotine. A guillotine allows me to manage the cigar process. And
I've got one here in case, but if it's needed, we're not talking about a great cigar.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, I disagree with that. Sometimes you do get a build up on those punch ends where you punch the end of the cigar, and sometimes on a really rich cigar, especially a younger cigar, you can get a build up of bitterness on there, and a slight clip away with a guillotine will remove that from almost immediately.
I after we did last week's when I was down the coast, last day I'd sort of thought, right, bugger this, I've done enough work. I went down, pulled out a book, a gin and tonic, and a beer, and something else, and sat there with an SLRDC. The little punch, it didn't need.
It doesn't need it. Doesn't need it.
And
don't need anything else.
The best cigar of the year, with daylight second, third, and fourth. God, it
doesn't need anything else. An SLRDC, you're fine with that. We'll be back with you at the end of the last third. Kenny, I'm down to the absolute butt end of this cigar, which was very, very good. In the end, it was very, very good.
It absolutely was. Absolutely was.
What are you doing?
Sorry, I've gone on to there. I'm back.
Not paying attention.
Well, you went away. You disappeared. I got a black screen where you were, so I was checking the teams for today. Go guys out for Newcastle.
Thank you. I'm sure everyone around the world wants to know that. But
yeah, because everyone around the world's watching.
Give us. They love the show. Give us a wrap up.
Yeah, look, the first 2/3 were better than the last third. It has got it hot, but it's still not bad. First 2/3, I'd have been 93, 94. I'm back to maybe overall 92 at the moment. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
It got muddled in that last third. Incredibly
6-12 months. Put them away 6-12 months, and then smoke them for 5 years.
I'd give it a solid 91, and with plenty of upside on what we're smoking today.
Isn't that what I just said? Isn't that what I just said?
I can't agree with you, can't I? I mean,
well, it's rare. It's rare.
Put it away. Put it away for. They come in boxes of 10. They're not that expensive. So
a good retailer would actually put them all aside and not sell them for 6 or 12 months.
Yeah, well, when I find one, I'll let you know, because I doubt that retailer is going to be flogging free cigars to you at any stage or storing your wine. But either way, we're good.
That's commitment. What you put me through, Jesus wept.
Good cigar, right. Track them down. LGC Turquino. I've had a fair few of these, and I think they're young enough. You're going to get a mixed journey on them. You're going to get some which are exceptional, and some that are just too young. they need time. I think this, but Gloria Cubana's always needed time. It's always
it
needed time.
It may well reflect Easter. I mean, it started very well, and now it's sort of fallen over at this stage. But maybe in 3 days it'll come back.
I think God just made him freeze up on the screen, which is about right. Which is about right. Sorry, JC. Good to go. Track him down. Until next week. Hasta luego. Cheers.
Cheers.